Okay, this is what the Stream Ecology Lab is going to be. You're going to see this screen when you log in. And what you need to do when you're reading your data sheet, you've got to start from the beginning, okay? So you've got to observe and know what's going on. So start here at A and read the directions completely, okay? Observe the virtual stream, note the conditions as you answer the following questions. So, in what direction, left to right, does the stream flow? So go back to here. What is it flowing? Is it flowing to the left or is it flowing to the right? Okay. What is the temperature of the stream? If you go back here, you find the temperature right here. All right. What is the depth? You find the depth right in this location. Okay. What is the velocity? You find the velocity right in here. Okay. You find the outlets. If you look at the outlet is this area right here. This is where the pollution is going to be dumped. And this is going to allow you to change when you're marking on your data sheet. If you look here, this is the data sheet that you're going to be working off of. And these are the things that you're going to be changing and measuring: the dissolved oxygen and the temperature, and checking off the species. So the first thing you're going to do is establish a baseline. And so what you want to do is set your stream, if you'll notice, the sensor to 0 to 1,000 meters. So that's where it is right now, because this represents times 1,000 meters. So that's at 0. You're going to set, it's going to be nothing, no pollution. We're just trying to figure out a baseline, so what it is. And you are going to record the depth, the temperature. So in your data sheet, you record at 0, what is the dissolved oxygen, what is the temperature, and what species do you see. So you check off if you see these species here. And then you move the cursor over, move your sensor over to 50, and do the same thing. Get the dissolved oxygen, which is here, the stream temperature, and then what species. And here's where you find your species. So you mark them off, just put a little check. And that's how you're going to establish your baseline. Okay? Now, the next section, I'm going to go back here to 0. If you look, the next one is the effects of pollution on a stream. So I want you to go, it's going to tell you to use the drop-down menu and select the pollutant panel for animal waste. All right, so here's the pollutant panel, and we're going to select animal waste, and it's going to tell us to put it in a volume of a ratio of 1 to 500. So here's where we change our volume of 1 to 500. Now, you're going to record your data just like we did with the baseline. Okay, so you're going to start here, see how the pollution's going in. Once again, this is your dissolved oxygen, and this is your stream temperature. Move your cursor over, your little sensor over. What organisms are there, what is the dissolved oxygen, and so forth. Okay, so that's how you do it for the pollutant. Okay, and make sure once you're done with the pollutant, you do reset. Okay, so that's how you do your baseline. All right, I'm going to hit reset. Now, the next one is going to be pollutant scenarios. Now, I'm going to just assign you different ones because you're only going to do, I think according to the data table, let's see, you're going to do one scenario. So I'm going to assign you a different scenario to do. So what you're going to do, if you have scenario 1, you read it and it says that you've got raw sewage in a ratio of 1 to 10,000. So here's where you put it down, raw sewage, okay, and you're going to do 1 to 10,000. So you check that in the and go fill in your chart just like you did before. Then you're going to do a second trial because it's going to tell you that it now goes to, it increases, and it goes from a ratio of 1 to 100. So you'll reset it, and you'll do raw sewage in a ratio of 1 to 100, and check your animals. Okay? So that's for the raw sewage. All right. For did they milk the system, what you're going to do is you're going to go in here, the first one, let me go back here, it says that they're going to put animal waste in a ratio of 1 to 500, so you're going to change on that little drop down menu, animal waste, and you're going to put in a ratio of 1 to 500, and you're going to collect your data right here. So animal waste, let me hit reset. Oh, sorry, organic. All right, animal waste, wrong thing again. 1 to 500, and then you run it, and then it tells you that, or 1 to 5,000, I put the wrong one. Then it says that it had a recent drop in milk supplies, and so you're going to change it, you're going to reset it, and you're going to put it to milk in a ratio of 1 to 2. So you've got, for each scenario, you're doing 2 different drop-down things. So you've got to make sure you read each of these scenarios and do what it tells you to do. All right, so is dilution the solution for pollution? For this scenario, what you're going to do is your volume is going to be treated sewage in a ratio of 1 to 100. So we're going to go here, I'm going to hit reset, and I'm going to do treated sewage 1 to 100, okay? And I'm going to run that scenario, and then it says that the town council plans to construct a dam on the stream, and they increase the depth of the water from 0.3 meters to 3 meters, reducing the volume to 1 to 1,000, and the velocity to 7 meters to 0.5 meters. So see, you've actually, in this scenario, and I forgot to do this, you've got to change the velocity. So you need to make sure, and I didn't do that for the first one, that you change that velocity setting. So for the first one, you change that velocity to 0.5, okay? And then also change the depth to 3 meters, okay? So make sure you do that, all right? And then for scenario 4, once again, you got to read the scenario and do exactly like it says. It says you're an environmental consultant and you've been contacted by an electrical company. The nuclear power plant uses water from the stream. It's normally 15 degrees Celsius to help cool the nuclear reactor. The temperature is 35, but it's not reactive if we release it back into the stream. So here's your volume of 1 to 10. It claims that there's no thermal pollution, okay? So you've got to go here and find thermal. So see, you've got to select thermal. So we're off of organic and you're on thermal. Put it in the correct volume. Make sure you've got the temperature correct. And notice that it tells you that there's a rise in the temperature. So make sure you put the difference in that rise and change that temperature when you're doing the next trial. So once again, I will assign you, when you're looking on Canvas, you'll find your name as to which scenario you have to do. Everybody will do establishing the baseline and the effects of a pollutant on a stream, but you will be assigned a certain scenario to do, okay? And that's what this activity is about. Now, you've got to make sure that you answer the questions as you're going along, and there's also going to be conclusion analysis questions at the end of this. Make sure you get those done at the end. So you've got to take your data and look at that, and you've also got to graph it. So when you're looking at this here you've got a graph. Notice that it's going to be, this is graph 1, so this is your baseline versus pollutant. It's broken into 2 because they want the temperature down here. So this is like one line graph down here. So this is the 2 temperature lines of the baseline data. So this would be a baseline temperature and a polluted temperature, okay? Up here is the dissolved oxygen level. So here's your 0, okay? So you want the dissolved oxygen level. Your line will be up here of the baseline and a dissolved oxygen level of the polluted. And then this is for your scenario. Once again, you'll have your temperature, 2 lines down here for the temperature, 2 lines down up here for the dissolved oxygen, okay? And once again, this is for baseline versus pollutant. This is the scenario that you've been given.